Hey people, in the last two videos we talked about the basic grips and my approach to how we hold the drumsticks. Let me quickly repeat, we don't hold the drumstick at all, we guide the stick. This is just an interface, it's a fluid concept. There is no one fulcrum, there is no one grip, there is no one technique. Please try out different methods, different techniques, and then find your way, and keep in mind that it will change if you play different volume, different places on the drum set, whatever sound you want, you have a different technique available if you know the whole plethora of the techniques. Today we want to look at three very special techniques. The first one is not actually very special, it's the most traditional way. Most of you will know the traditional grip, and most of you probably know where it comes from. The marching drummers who had the drums on their side didn't want to grip the stick from above, but they gripped it from below, and we hold it between middle finger and ring finger, and the thumb is placed loosely on the tip, on the end of the index finger. And here we have more of this motion, the so-called pronation. It's not this whipping motion of the wrist, but it can be in the arm, but the medium volume stroke is just twisting the forearm. Also, you can see that you should have a slight angle on the snare drum, because otherwise you would have to drop your shoulder, so you have to adjust your drum set. I would suggest that you definitely try out the traditional grip. It has not too many advantages, but three I would say. The first one is honor the past. See yourself in the tradition of drum set playing, know where it comes from, and if you feel yourself into someone from the past, as we say in Germany, then you might get a better understanding of why somebody played the way he or she played, if you play in the same manner as they do. Many jazz drummers today still play that way, because jazz is of course the root of the drum set playing, and most traditional jazz players played traditional grip for most of the time. The second advantage is that you have a very big difference how the sticks feel in your hands, so you can differentiate a little bit better between the two hands and their different voices, because usually we don't play the same thing on the same drum all the time, but we have different voices playing on the drum set. And the third advantage is you just gain a new perspective, you just gain new movement experience, and I'm all about that. You should always challenge yourself, try out different things, because you have to really check how do I move the hand, how can I use the rebound here, how can I play double strokes like I do with match grip. So you just question it a little bit more, and this gives you a better understanding of the main principles. This is supposed to be just an introduction, so I won't tell you how you play or practice the traditional grip, also because I'm not very good at it, and I only want to show you the things I'm good at because I really have a good grasp of them. So the next technique would be, or the next two techniques would be very special. They are the exception to the rule of always being relaxed. The two techniques I'm about to show you are the exceptions, where we actually hold and actually press the stick. The first one is the closed roll, or the press roll. Why is it closed? Because, as I said, a very good estimate of the main position in the American grip is you can see the stick between your thumb and your index finger. In the closed roll you can't, because you press into the head, and you want to have several rebound strokes just by pressing the stick into the head. So you start with a lot of pressure, and then you decrease the pressure right away. You can also do this in the French grip, so thumb is facing the ceiling. If you now start the one stroke while the other stick is still jumping on the head, the two sounds get connected a little bit, they overlap. And when I increase the tempo, we have one long note. And this is very important because many modern rock, metal, punk drummers neglect the importance of the press roll, of the closed roll. It's a very important tool to have because usually we can't play long notes. Maybe we have a cymbal roll or roll on the low tom, but a press roll is often neglected and it's a very important tool to have. So please practice it, because many people just don't practice, particularly the press roll. I can definitely recommend it, but keep in mind it's one of the two exceptions to the rule of always being relaxed. So if you're not playing press roll or the next technique I'm going to talk about, please remember that the stick should always jump back on its own. So the last technique, very special, is the freehand technique. Here we have an additional fulcrum. We don't just have this fulcrum here on the stick, but we use the rim of the drum as a secondary fulcrum. So it's like a seesaw. But for this we need tension in our hand, in our fingers. With no tension it would sound like this. We need this tension that builds up when we press down, and if the arm moves up, the fingers snap back up and make a second note on the head. So as you can see, it doesn't sound very good in a mid-tempo, but this is supposed to be used at very high tempos. So this is used in extreme metal in the so-called gravity blast, or just as a kind of embellishment in a drum solo. But it's a very interesting technique. You can theoretically play twice the speed you can play with one hand. So it's like you have a single stroke roll, but played just by the downstroke and the upstroke. So it's a very interesting exception to the rule. So I hope this has helped you. As I said, it's just an overview of the basic principles, and this is always very important. You have much more to gain if you learn the principles, not just one technique. This is always what this channel is about. Basic principles, health, motivation, setting goals, efficient learning, efficient practicing. So if you're interested in that and you want to learn more effectively and learn more about personal growth through learning an instrument, then please subscribe. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.